free IDY yoga workshops organized by Ashtanga Yoga Mandir in lieu of International Yoga Day 2021. So the topic of the day would be neuropsychological impact of yoga mudras by Dr. Dilip Sarkar. Before we commence the session, a few pointers for the audience. Please keep your microphones muted at all times. We will be opening the chat for you to pose questions from 7:30 onwards. Please note that this chat is only reserved for questions. The Q&A segment will commence at 8:15. Last but not least, we would also like to request the audience to switch on your videos if possible as a mark of respect. So without further ado, I'd like to hand over the session to Ms. Srimati Sadish Kumar, who most of us know as Premi, Senior Instructress of Ashtanga Yoga Mandir, Sri Lanka, to formally welcome our eminent speaker. Ma'am, over to you.
Thank you, Nilushi. Namaskaram to all. Good evening to all. Welcome, everyone. It is my absolute honor to welcome our special guest tonight, Dr. Dilip Sarkar, Chairman of the Center of the Integrative Medicine and Yoga, Taksha Institute, Hampton, and he is also a retired vascular surgeon turned yoga acharya, certified yoga therapist, certified Ayurvedic yoga therapist, and Ayurvedic teacher. He now teaches yoga therapy, Ayurvedic philosophy, and Ayurvedic yoga therapy, both nationally and internationally, to healthcare providers with a focus on integrating yoga with Ayurvedic wisdom with the science of Western medicine. Dr. Sagar started the first category 1 ACIM provide continuing medical education course in the USA for physicians, yoga therapy for medical professionals in 2010. He is also on the board of many prestigious associations. His new DVD, Yoga Therapy for Health and Healing, a daily practice, and his book, Yoga Therapy, Ayurveda and Western Medicine, a healthy convergence, published in April of 2017, has been well received by the yoga therapy, Ayurveda and Western healthcare community. We are all eagerly waiting to hear your talk today, Dr. Dilip Sarkar. Thank you for taking the time to be with us today. It's an honor. So without any further delay, I would like to hand it over to Doctor. Over to you, Doctor.
Okay, thank you. So who is, now first of all, go ahead and put me on a spotlight. Who is handling who is the host? Go to the, on my picture.
We'll put you on spotlight.
So everybody will be seeing me. Can you do that?
You are spotlighted.
I'm spotlighted, okay.
Yes.
Then let me reduce myself. Okay, perfect. So you gave all the information to them. That's my turn. So good morning from America and good evening in Sri Lanka. This is a series on Yoga Chikitsa. And today's topic is one of the most important yogic Chikitsa topic. Mudras, I will go over with you, as I said, the neurophysiological impact. And I will definitely bring the therapeutic impact. And I'm a physician, and I'm a retired vascular surgeon. As I said, I'm now a yoga certified yoga therapist, certified Ayurvedic yoga therapist. And primarily I teach how to integrate yoga therapy with the Western medicine to the physicians and healthcare providers. The first, let's talk about the impact of yoga in our body and mind, then we'll come to the impact of mudra. So look at the word first, Yoga Chikitsa. I will do all the practices with you with the mudras, and we'll finish. You said what, 15 minutes for question and answer? So in hour and 15 minutes. And then we'll have a questions. Most of the people will have a question in the chat. And I have a hard time reading chat when I'm doing it. So you read the chat, tell me, and I will give you the answers. The first is mudra. It's a part of the yoga practice. And always remember this, the word is a yoga. It's a Sanskrit word. It's not a yoga. Yoga is an anglicized Western word. So I'll be using the word yoga for you. So yoga is a philosophy. Yoga Sutra of Patanjali. And here, if you're looking at me in the back, I have this statue of Patanjali. And this is actually my home gymnasium. My treadmill is here, my weight training, my yoga asanas, and my Patanjali. So it's a Yoga Sutra of Patanjali, and a practice is Patanjali Ashtanga Yoga. It's 8 limbs yoga, yam, niyam, asana, pranayam, pratyahara, dharan, dhyan, samadhi. But the goal of the yoga practice was a self-realization. The goal was never a yoga chikitsa. But during the practice of yoga, there were some health benefits. And slowly, the yoga practice was infused with the mudras, bandhas, kriyas, Ayurvedic philosophy, and it became a yoga chikitsa, like yoga therapy. Remember, Ayurveda, Ayu is the longevity, Veda is the knowledge. Ayurveda and yoga came from the same root, is our Vedas. So the mudras made an impact from the neurophysiological impact, which is basically an introspection, and specifically means that it's a self-realization. What does it mean? If you teach a children mudras, you will see he's continuously doing this mudra, because he feels the effect of it in his body and mind. I teach physicians the therapeutic effect of mudras. They will ask me and come to me and ask multiple questions. How does it work? Where does it go? Tell me. I will say, I'll tell you everything. But you have to promise one thing to me. After I tell you everything, you have to do only one thing about therapeutic impact of yoga, or mudras. Keep doing it and don't ask any questions. You will feel within yourself. Now, first of all, let's go over with where the mudras coming from. It's a hand. So if you look at our hand, first, if you look at a neurophysical impact of our hand, I'll show it to you, which really will surprise you if you know about the little bit of a brain anatomy. The first, hand is a connector between your body and mind. What does it mean? If I like something, I will say this thing without any word coming from my mouth. Word in my mouth come later. I want something, I'll put my hand here. Before I say, please give it to me. My hand acts before my tongue, before my body. Next, if you look at the hand, look at the function, look at the anatomy. This hands, 2 hands. Each hand, look at the joints, how many joints we have. Look at how many bones we have. Each finger has 3 joints. There are 27 bones. In the wrist, there are 8 small bones. Remember when you are studying the anatomy in the school, because remember, we have to memorize like a poem. Scaphoid, lunate, triquet, trapeziform, trapezium, trapezoid, capitate, hamate. All the 8 bones of our wrist. It is blood supply. 2 main blood vessels, the radial artery, ulnar artery, and extensive nerves. If you feel the tip of your fingers, you will see how sensitive the fingers are, how much nervous system is there, and I'll show it to you why. If you do a mudra, this is called a Gano mudra or a Dhyano mudra. It's a meditation mudra. And most of the time we do meditation in that. In a short time, when you close our eyes and pay attention to our breath and have a relaxation response, we start feeling the sensation is getting better and better. We feel there is a capillary pulsation. I can feel the pulsation on the tip of my finger. And more I'm in a meditative state. I can feel every concept and impact on my fingers. Next, if you look at the nerve supply, the concept of why touching the fingers, what it does, touching the fingers, how long you do it, when can you do it. The nerve supply, the nerve which is controlling my hand, these are called a homunculus, like a small body. The brain which controlling our whole body is called the cortex of the brain, called motor cortex, which helps in the movement, sensory, which helps in sensation. The portion of the brain which controls our hand is about half of the brain. 1/4 controlling my upper part of the body, and 1/4 of the brain controlling the rest of the body. So if you draw a picture of a human being who is supplied by the brain, I might show it to you. Actually, as she said, I have a DVD, I have a book. My book is called Yoga Therapy, Ayurveda and Western Medicine. And it is primarily for the healthcare providers, and it has a whole chapter on the mudras. But if you look at this picture, this is also my DVD. The DVD has a whole section of how to practice therapeutic mudras. These are all available in Amazon. But let me show you a picture which you will be surprised. Let me see if I can show it to you. I was going to present with all the slides and other things, but I decided I want to show you the practice. But let me come close to you so you will be able to see a picture. Okay, take a look at it. The picture in my left, which should be your right, is the area of the brain. Area of the brain, this is the area of the brain, and you can see the whole half is controlling your hands, 1/4 is your head and neck, and 1/4 rest of the body. So if you draw a picture of a human being which is supplying the brain controlling, half will be your hands. So now you can understand that the neurophysical impact of yoga in your body. Now, first of all, if you do something subconsciously, your hands will represent. So what does it mean? We talk with our hands. You will never see a person is talking without moving their hands. The hand moves before their tongue. Then let's do a little practice so you'll understand before I go for a little further your concept of mudras, so you'll understand a little bit more and more. And we'll talk about the connecting the Pancha Mahabhuta, 5 elements, Akash, Vayu, Agni, Jal, Prithvi. Then I show you how all the mudras evolved. Before that, simple observation. If it's a baby, if you look at a baby, baby is completely relaxed. Baby will close their hand. It's called a baby fist. The Sanskrit name, Balo Mushti Mudra. Balo is the baby, Mushti is a fist mudra. Baby will always close their hand with the thumb inside and close. They will never close the hand like this. So now you know, you take a look at a baby, they always do a baby like this. And in this, they will start screaming, they're crying, they will do. In Yoga Chikitsa, this is called an Adhi Mudra. Adhi Mudra opens the upper part of the lung. Upper part of the lung is never being opened. If you touch your index finger and thumb, this is called a Gyanu Mudra, Dhanu Mudra, meditation mudra, and generally we put it palm high up. We sit down with our spine straight, eyes closed, we do a meditation. This is basically quieting down our mind, and we'll come to the little bit of Ayurvedic concept. It is balances your Pitta dosa. Vayu, Vata, Pitta, and Kapha, it balances your Pitta. But the same mudra, if you put your hands down, this is called a Chin Mudra. Chin Mudra opens your lower part of the lung. And lower part of the lung is when you get all the air coming in. So we use the mudra during the practice of the asana, practice of the pranayama, and also practice of the meditation. It's a very important mudra, Chin Mudra. Then you close your hands and keep touching. Again, put it over your knees. It is called your Chinmay Mudra. And don't worry about the names. Don't worry about names of the mudras, because if you think about a Sanskrit word, there will be mudra on that name. You look at your last name, first name, there will be mudra on your name. And by the time you understand the concept of the mudra, you will be able to name all the mudras. Chinmay Mudra, it opens the middle part of the lung. Balo Mushti Mudra or Adhi Mudra, it opens your upper part of the lung. It is so relaxing because remember, the babies are already relaxed. I practice all my asanas on this mudra, to the point when I am doing an asana, my hands will go in Adhi Mudra with me without knowing. That is called the effortless ease, effortless practice, and that's what Yoga Chikitsa is. Remember that this is, this D-I-S space E-A-S-E, this is. This is corrected with called effortless ease. It is a totally an effortless practice. It will happen to you without knowing. This is a mudra called a Varun Mudra, touching your little finger and thumb. This is called a water element. It controls your bladder. Controls a lot of other things, we'll talk about it later. But say bladder function, if you have to go for your passing water and there is no facility there, you press on the little finger. I have seen children's playing when children has to go and there is no place. I would say, hey, press on the pinky, press on the pinky. It will stop your number one. I have so many experience with the hand mudras. I was in Argentina. They speak all Spanish. The lady is coming to pick me up. She was my interpreter. She comes pressing on the little finger. I said, what happened? Well, I'm pressing, it's not working. I'm looking for a restroom. Even in Argentina, people understand these mudras so well. Another observation, very simple observation. I'm talking to you, I'm concentrating. I will be doing, sitting down, all the tip of fingers touching each other. And this happens without knowing. I'm sitting like this. Or I'm talking to you, my hands becomes like this. And I really even don't know this is happening. This is called a Hakini Mudra. Hakini Mudra is to focus. focus your mind. So we are here for a 90-minute session. Remember, our mind, our focus of our mind, hardly about 18 minutes. And that's where, if you know about the TED Talk, all the TED Talks are 18 minutes. So you need taking a focus of your mind. Next, you need what is called our agitation, restless, chitta vritti. Chitta vritti has to go away. Then the last concept and most important concept of mudras is that I have a two sides of my brain. I have a right brain and a left brain. Right brain controlling left side of the body. Right brain is intuitive. Right brain is female. Right brain is cooling. It's called parasympathetic. Left brain is analytical. Left brain is your male. Left brain is heating, sympathetic. So before we go into the therapeutic concept, let's quiet down our mind. Let's see if you can take both the hands, touch tip of your fingers, put it over your lap. Close your eyes. And now what you do, a real mudra practice, close your eyes and do with your pranayama. Breathe out first. Take a deep breath in and breathe out longer than breathing in. Always breathe out longer than breathing in. Lung is like a balloon. It has a 4.5 liter capacity to exchange. It's called vital capacity. We only exchange 0.5 liter. So breathe out longer than breathing in. Then what you will do, a practice, very fundamental practice is, in this practice, you put a little bit of a pressure in the tip of the finger in inhalation. Like when you are inhaling, put a little pressure in. When you're exhaling, you release. Try a couple of times, you'll see. You practice, sit down comfortably. If you're sitting in a chair, is fine. If you sit, one more important practice of the yoga is that mudras or yoga, everything is called Merudanda Achal. That means spine straight. Keep your spine straight and manas sthir. Mind has to quiet down. And mind primarily quiets down. I have so many candid cameras. I've seen people in the conference, paying attention to a lecture, listening to a lecture, and their hands becomes like this without knowing. They don't know. I even took a picture, I showed it to them. Really, my hands are like this? Yes. Hakini mudra. For your agitation of your mind, it is called Shankha mudra. So, if you're practicing, let's practice with me. Have both the hands like this. Use your right hand to wrap around your left thumb. Use your left hand, wrap around your right hand. Touch your index finger and thumb. This will look like a conch shell. Shankha mudra. Shankha mudra quiets down your agitation of your mind. So when I'm practicing pranayama, I'm putting my Shankha mudra. We'll be saying that we'll be doing the pranayama practice, Kapalbhati pranayama, with about 10 mudras. I will do 20 or 50 counts. I'll do 500 Kapalbhati pranayama, or I will do a alternate nostril breathing, Anulom Vilom pranayama, which called your Vishnu mudra. Touch your index finger and thumb, we'll do it. So look at this, how simple it is. Wrap your right hand around your left thumb, left and right thumb, Shankha mudra. Now try if you can do it with the other hand. It's very important. Use both the hands to do the mudras. Left hand touching, wrapping your right thumb. Right hand, wrapping your left hand, touch your index finger and thumb, Shankha Mudra. This mudras acts primarily in your subtle body. It's our existence in a body, mind, and spirit. Body is connected to the gross body called Sthulo Shariri. Mind is connected with your subtle body called Shukha Shariri. And spirit is connected through our called Karana Shariri. This mudras also has a function which is called your body. It's a cleansing for your body. It's called Agni Deepana. It ignites your Agni. And I'll show you the mudras which ignites your Agni. Also, when you are comfortable practicing mudras, what will happen? You will be able to do it in your subtle body. Subtle body is the body of your mind. What is the body of your mind? Body of your mind means in a yoga practice, my body and mind is connected. So I can close my eyes and I can access any part of my body. Close my eyes, I can touch tip of my nose, the right tip of my nose, I touch my head, touching my left knee, and my right great toe and left finger. So I can access any part of my body with my eyes closed. So what will happen, you will be able to do this mudras when you're practicing for a while, the eyes closed. See, my eyes are closed. Right hand wraps around the left thumb. Left hand wraps around the right hand. Touch index finger and thumb. Shankha Mudra. I'm doing a Shankha Mudra with my eyes closed. Eyes closed. Bring other one. Same Shankha Mudra. So Hakini Mudra for your focus of your mind. Shankha Mudra to quiet down your anxiety, agitation of your mind. And a Dhenu Mudra, next one, is to balance both sides of your brain. How to do it? Try it with me. So let's sit down. Put your hands on both sides. You'll be touching opposing fingers. Right index finger will touch left middle finger. Right middle finger will touch left index finger. Right ring finger will touch left little finger. Right little finger will touch the left ring finger. Touch both the thumbs. This will be like an udder of a cow. It's called a Dhenu Mudra, a Shurabhi Mudra. Activating both sides of your brain to bring in a balance. Remember, the whole Yoga Chikitsa is to bring the balance back. Why? Health is defined in yoga as a balance of your body, mind, and spirit. And think about it. I have two sides of my brain, right brain and left brain. Like I have a cycle with two wheels. And one wheel doesn't have enough pump, the cycle is not going to run. Both sides has to be equal. Mudra brings it, when you keep on doing mudra, what you'll say, if you're a right-handed, right-footed, your left hand function will get better. And I will say, when you start practicing mudra, use your left hand, start brushing your teeth. If you're right-handed, if you start brushing your teeth, your brush will be all over. By the time you can bring your brush, I do it all the time, brush your teeth with your left hand, what will happen? Your right hand will start doing like this. This is called a neuroplasticity. Neuroplasticity is the neurophysical impact. Neuroplasticity sets in and you will be able to do these mudras with your eyes closed, anywhere, any place, anytime. So again, balancing both sides of the brain. Dhenu Mudra. Now to the opposite hand. The left index finger touching right middle finger. Left middle finger touching right index finger. Left little finger touching the right ring finger. Left ring finger touching the right little finger. touching the thumb. This is your Dhanu Mudra. Balancing both sides of the brain. This is the beginning. This is the beginning to have a mudra session. Generally, mudras we do with our pranayama practice because mudras are also a psychophysical connective to bring the prana, the life force, subtle energy. Breath is not the prana. Breath is the carrier of prana. Prana is a subtle energy. Metaphorically, breath will be like your electric cable. Prana will be like your electricity. So, since the mudras takes the prana to the organ of healing, and pranayama, prana is a life force, yam is a control and restrain. You are controlling and restraining your prana, bringing the prana to the organ of healing to cause yoga tikitsha. It's called pranic healing. So now you see again, try with me. I will do my eyes closed. My eyes are closed. Right index finger touch the left middle finger. Right middle finger touch the left index finger. Right ring finger touch the left little finger. Right little finger touch the left ring finger. Touch the thumb, Dhanu Mudra, with my eyes closed. Even with my eyes closed, I can clearly visualize my hands, my bodies. That is the power of mudra. That is the neurophysical impact. I can clearly see my hands. I can clearly see my hands are in front of my heart chakra. So the hands in front of my Agga chakra. So wonderful practice. So mudras, as I say, the hand is controlling. And then your hand has to be relaxed. So how do the hand relaxation? The first of all, we sit down, like if we're sitting down. This is called a sukhasana. Sukhasana, siddhasana, padmasana. But more and more you get relaxed, more and more sit down. Or if you sit down in a chair, go to the back of the chair, keep your spine straight. The moment you keep your spine straight, a relaxation response sets in. How the relaxation response sets in? Because my skeleton, if there is no support from the muscle, is going to fall back, fall in the front. My back muscles are contracting, keeping me straight. So when I touch, I have a two piece of stone sitting here. But when I keep my spine straight, that muscle cannot stay contracted too long. These are the stages of asanas. First is called arambha. Arambha is the beginning. But if you keep the muscles contracted for some time, the muscle starts to relax. Before relaxation, it's called fasciculation. It's called sthiti, stability. Stay a little longer, you get a profound relaxation. It's called your visarjan. Sanskrit words, arambha, beginning, sthiti, stability, visarjan, profound relaxation. Hand gets relaxed with your adhi mudra, when you put your thumb inside and close. So if you get a pain, a chronic pain in a hand, which happens in osteoarthritis, rheumatoid arthritis, I always say, practice with your thumb inside. In fact, if you want to practice how to relax your hand with the mudras, put your hands in the front, breathe out first, take a deep breath in, breathing out, do a adhi mudra. Close your eyes, do it with breathing. Breathe in, breathe out. Breathe in, breathe out. breathe in, breathe out. Wrist gets relaxed with the extension. Breathe in, breathe out. Your shoulder, neck, whole upper part of the body get relaxed before you do your mudra practice. Generally, if you do mudra practice alone, it takes about over 30 seconds for this seal. Mudra is also called seal. Remember, mudra has a lot of meaning. Mud means your happiness. Mudra is seal, that this seal, the touching, takes about 30 seconds to activate. So you said about do it between 2 to 4 minutes, 2 to 5 minutes. Practice about maybe 45 minutes a day. You can do 15 minutes in the morning, 15 in the afternoon, before. They always try to do it in an empty stomach, spine straight. So the whole upper part of the body will get relaxed. It is called a Paschim Namaskar. So let me show it to you. These are the preliminary for before doing your practices. And also they said, I'm doing any asanas, my hand automatically goes like this. It's a profound relaxation practice, Adhi Mudra. And you will see your hands. A person who has a relaxed hands, look, my fingers will be all separated. Look at my fingers, all separated in a relaxed hand. So your fingers will go in and out. You can do your hands all around. But when they're tight, the fingers will go. This is called your Adhi Mudra. So in a Paschim Namaskar is a prayer posed to the back. See what you will do. You will try to take your hands to the back and slowly get into a Namaskar Mudra. So if you can get slowly into Namaskar Mudra, remember you go in the stages. Initially, you do wherever you are. Practice without any pain. Be sure there is no pain. Slowly you can get up, close your eyes, do your breathing, and slowly you will see your hands will keep going high up. It will keep going high up, as high as possible, and you stay here. Stages of asanas, Arambho, Sthiti, Visarjan. Beginning, stability, and profound relaxation. In a short time, you will feel the effect of this relaxation. And don't push yourself. Wherever you can, stay there. If you stay there, it will get better and better. Also remember, the mudras are all over your body. Mudras are not in your hands. In the neck, relaxation of the neck, movement of the neck, we call it a Brahma Mudra. 4 posture of the neck, Brahma Mudra. If you keep your spine straight, sitting down, put your body down, it's your Yug Mudra. You have mudras in your eyes, Tratak Mudra. Tratak is also a mudra. Or Nasha spot. Looking at the tip of your nose or looking at your third eye. These are all, as I said, don't worry about the names. The names, anything you think about, the names will be there. Mudras are a part and parcel of a South Indian dance, Bharatnatyam. Bharatnatyam says, Jatha hasta, tatha drishti. Your eyes goes where your hands are. And eyes is direct extension of your brain. Remember, eyes goes, and our brain is covered with the skull. Eye is the one which is really going straight, called optic nerve, going straight to the brain. Jatha hasta, tatha drishti. Jatha drishti, tatha mana. Mind. Jatha mano, tatha bhavna. Bhavna is your heart. And jatha bhavna, tatha rasa. All the emotions, 9 emotions. So anything done with a hand, brain, and a heart is a neurophysical impact. So yogic and Ayurvedic concept about mudra is that we are part of the universe. Universe is made of 5 elements. It's not a Big Bang theory. Initially, there was space, akash. There came air, called vayu. Vayu had a friction, it caused fire, agni. Agni melted the cloud, became water, it's called a jal. Jal froze, it's called a earth or a prithvi. Akash, vayu, agni, jal, prithvi. Space, air, fire, water, earth. Then Yoga and Ayurveda say, Jatha Pinda Tatha Brahmanda. Whatever happening to the universe, that is still in my physical body. I have all the 5 elements in my physical body. Space in my lungs, space in my stomach. Air is the movement of my heart, movement of my intestine. Fire is my digestive fire. Pachan Shakti. Jathar Agni, all the Agni, Tejas, Prana, Tejas, Ojas. Water holds tissues together like a dough. If you put a flour, you put a water, it connects all the molecules like water. Earth is your grounding elements, bones, tip. In the hand, the 5 elements are represented. Space is obviously middle finger, big white space. Air is the movement. The most mobile is your tarjani, index finger. It's a mobile finger. This is air. Fire is your thumb, because thumb touches all the fingers. Water is a little finger. Water represents your little finger, Kanishta. And earth represents your ring finger. Space, air, fire, water, earth. This is the main school of thought. Another school, because in India, remember, yoga is a philosophy, it is beyond science. So they have another school which also describes from outside in. This is a space, air, fire, water, earth. But it will make you more sense, and I'll come to you slowly. The 5 elements in our body also in a different proportion. The person who has space and air, they're called vata. These are called doshas. Doshas are also neurophysical body type. This is exactly neurophysical impact. So mudras are a neurophysical connector to move your prana to the organ of healing, causing pranic healing. So the Vata people has more neuropsychiatric disorders, from brain, mental disorders, neurological disorders like Parkinson's disease, your multiple sclerosis, stroke, and also musculoskeletal disease, bones, joints, and muscles. Jankarashandi, Ambat. Ama is a toxin. Ama is a toxin in our body. When food is not properly digested and it comes into a joint, it's called Amavata. People have a primarily fire and water element. They're called Pitta. And these people also have characteristics. Vata is mobile. They're very skinny. They're ectomorphic. They're always running around. But we're talking about diseases. They more have the neuropsychiatric and musculoskeletal disorder. Pitta has a fire component. They're very controlling. When they're imbalanced, it goes into anger. They're rajasic. Vata people are sattvic, rajasic. So in a pitta dosa, you get a fire element, and primarily is your heat. They're hot. Every time they feel any hot, but Vata feels cold. So you know how to learn how to do your mudras to cool down, how to do your mudras to heat up your body. When your primary component is your water and earth, it's called a kapha. Or pitta mostly gets inflammatory diseases. An inflammatory disease today is your diabetes, hypertension, heart disease, high cholesterol, truncal obesity, even all the coronavirus, COVID-19 is primarily called a cytokine storm. It's an inflammatory response going into the lung. So we do a lot of mudras for the therapeutic for our COVID-19. Kapha, on the other hand, that also looks very grounded, the little rounded body. So their primary disease is your fluid retention, fluid disorder. Primary is your tumor formation. So when you see the fingers, the primary mudras will be touching your index finger and thumb. This is your try. This is called a Gyana mudra or a Dhyana mudra. And if you put it over your knees slowly, initially your fingers will become like this. Don't fight to get it straightened up. Why? Because it's a neurophysical connector. And the neurophysical impact is called relaxation response, called activation of your parasympathetic tone. The whole chronic lifestyle-related disorders today is due to your sympathetic overdrive. So the relaxation response sets in. When parasympathetic activation sets in, your finger will go down and fingers will be going down like this, will straighten up without knowing. Initially, fingers will be separated. Fingers will even come in. So wonderful practice if you do it. This is called Pitta balancing mudra. It balances your Pitta. So it balances your all inflammatory diseases, solid organ disease like your liver, small intestine, heart diseases, all Pitta related disorders. But once you understand these components, you will see the mudra is also called your chakra awakening meditation. Chakras will awake with the mudras. It's called a Kundalini Jagaran. The 7 chakras, the lower 5 chakras are with the 5 elements. Muladhara chakra is your earth. Svadhisthana chakra is your water. Manipur chakra in the belly button is your fire. Anahata chakra, heart chakra is your air. Visuddha chakra in your throat is your space. In between the eyebrows, called the Anka chakra is your mind. And the Sahasrara chakra is your spirit. So we'll know how whole body and mind is interconnected through the mudras. Dhyana mudra, Gyana mudra. Bend your index finger down at the root of your thumb and cover your thumb, put it there, called a Vayu mudra. This is your air component, mobile component. You are controlling the mobile component, controlling the Vata. So what is Vata responsible for? Neuropsychiatric disorder. And primary neuropsychiatric disorder, what we have in our life day to day is a pain, chronic pain. Then is all the mental disorders. So for a chronic pain, you are doing your Vayu mudra. Bring your index finger close to the base of your thumb and you'll see that means the fire is controlling your air component. Touch your middle finger and thumb. This is called a Shunya Mudra. Shunya is emptiness. Shunya, remember, a space. What is a space for? Hearing. You hear through space. It is very good for hearing, very good for your disease, very good for all upper head and neck disorders, eye problem, sinus problem, nasal problem. Shunya Mudra. Touch your ring finger and thumb. This is called your Prithvi Mudra. Prithvi Mudra is a grounding. And this is to balance your kapha dosha. Kapha dosha is primarily your, like say, truncal obesity, diabetes. And we practice of the mudras during pranayama, like we'll do a Kapalbhati pranayama. Kapalbhati pranayama is putting your belly button to the back. If you push your belly button to the back, it hits your diaphragm, air comes out. And I'll show it to you. How do you practice Kapalbhati pranayama with every mudra? This is also called Prithvi Mudra, and always say there is a ring in your ring finger, sign of your marriage. It's called a Vivaha Mudra. And I'll show it to you what the Vivaha Mudra looks like. Remind me, if I forget at the end, remind me. But if you take the ring finger down and put it your thumb, you're going to Surya Mudra, sun energy. It's a heating. It really causes pachon. There is also called pachon mudra, but it also causes pachon in your body. That it will control your high cholesterol, high fat, anything high in your body, it will do it. Touch your little finger and thumb. This is your Varun Mudra. Put it there. See, my fingers, I don't have to do anything. It automatically become straight because it's a relaxation response. I don't try. Varun Mudra. Varun Mudra, controlling the water element. Anything to do with the body. Water, like the skin. The skin is always skin, all the skin health is due to your proper perfusion of the skin. As a bladder control. Controls your bladder. Especially women with a stress incontinence, with a little coughing, sneezing, they cannot control the urine in the bladder, do the Varun Mudra. Men with a prostate problem, benign prostatic hypertrophy, prostate problem, we ask them to do a Kapalbhati pranayama with a Varun Mudra. So they will do Varun Mudra, keep the spine straight, eyes closed. You can go to my YouTube channel, go to my Dilip Sarkar, my full name, Dilip Sarkar Yoga. You will see tons and tons of videos on mine. You'll look at one called Pranayama Practice for chronic diseases. You will see the pranayamas and you see how to use the mudras in the pranayama. It's a long presentation. I'll show it to you a little bit, but giving an idea. Touch your ring finger, little finger and thumb. Shakti Mudra, also called a Prana Mudra. The Vayu, the Vata also had a five sub-Vayus. Prana Vayu, Udana Vayu is an upward moving force. Vayana Vayu all over our body. Samana Vayu is at the level of your belly button, that's your digestion. And Apana Vayu is going downward force. And I'll show it to you. All the Vayus are controlling with your, because every Vayu has a different disease entity. So you wake up in the morning, you don't feel good, you don't have enough strength, you do your Shakti Mudra or your Prana Mudra and do your Kapalbhati Pranayama. Touch your middle finger, ring finger and thumb. This is called Apana Mudra. This is also called a Pachon Mudra. It digests all the toxins in our body. So if you look at from yogic and Ayurvedic perspective, what the mudras does, mudra first called a Agni Deepana. It ignites your Agni. When the Agni is ignited, it ignites your tejas. Prana is a cellular communication. Tejas is a cellular intelligence. And ojas is a cellular immunity. Agni Deepana, Ama Pachana. Ama is a toxin. Ama is a toxin of your body, toxin of undigested food, undigested thought process. Ama Pachana, it destroys your ama. Nadi Shodhana, it cleanses all of your channel, all the nadis. So prana can flow, and when prana can flow through the nadis, you have a disease free. When prana cannot flow your channel, you develop your multiple chronic diseases. And also, when I'm sitting down, this is Sukhasana, I always cross my finger, or cross my leg, because crossing your leg, what it does, it activates both sides of your brain. And I'll show it to you. I always do it, and the mudras helps. Pachana mudra. So remember what does Agni Deepana, Ama Pachana, digestion, Nadi Shodhana, cleanses channel. Then called Ojo Sthapana. Ojo is your cellular immunity. And Sthapana means you establish. So when it establishes your ojas, you develop a cellular immunity. What the cellular immunity does, it fights against any your external contagious diseases. Primarily today is the COVID-19. Vaccine may give some immunity, but all immunity comes from your daily yoga practice, called a dinacharya. If you take your index finger, drop it down, and keep the Apana Mudra, it's called Apana Vayu Mudra. Apana Vayu Mudra is also called a Hriday Mudra. This is for improve your function of your heart and lung. In fact, it's almost like a nitroglycerin. You're having a chest pain, you're waiting for your ambulance to come. Do the Hriday Mudra. I have a friend of mine, in the morning, he goes up and down, he takes his apartment is on the 13th floor. He takes the steps every morning, goes up to 13th floor a few times, but he does with his Hriday Mudra, Apana Vayu Mudra. If you touch your index finger, middle finger, and thumb, this is called your Vayana Mudra. Vayana Mudra is your circulation throughout the whole body. It has an effect on your circulatory system. Blood pressure, high blood pressure, low blood pressure, fluid intake, any cardiovascular disease is your Vayana Mudra. Touch your index finger, middle finger, ring finger, and thumb. This is called Udana Mudra. Udana Mudra is upward movement. It has a therapeutic effect for all of your head and neck pathologies. Neck problem, neck pain, your sinus problem, eyes problem, it's all with your Udana Mudra. Take your hands, clasp it, get a thumb high up, Linga Mudra. Linga Mudra brings your heat in your body. And you will see children when they're having a cough or having a runny nose, they'll be doing a Linga Mudra and they'll be holding it on their own with their eyes closed. Mudra is so experiential. Mudra is so introspective that once you keep on doing mudra, never leave home without doing it. Very important, Linga Mudra. Ganesh Mudra. Take your hands, try to separate each other. Ganesh Mudra. Ganesh, remover of obstacles. So any obstacles you have in the body, like any kind of disease you have, is the Ganesh Mudra. A lot of mudras we have, like Ashwini Mudra. Ashwini Mudra is your anal canal, anal sphincter. You contract your anal sphincter and pull it up. It's called a Mula Bandh. During Mula Bandh, you pull it up, Ashwini Mudra. Ashwini means horse. If you see a horse, after horse has a bowel movement, horse will contract the anal canal. Ashwini Mudra. Or Viparit Karani Mudra. Viparit Karani Mudra, you lay down, take your feet in the wall, Viparit Karani Mudra. So, a lot of other mudras, you will see Buddha sitting here, one hand at the top, touching your thumb. Meditation Buddha. Buddha will do this, Abhay Mudra, fearless. And on the other hand, Varun Mudra, giving back. This is the way Buddha is sitting there, and there is a glow around there. Feminine divinity. In your Vedic philosophy, it's all the feminine divinity. So your having the feminine power within you. Remember, Purusha and Prakriti. Prakriti has all the power, all the healing. This is called your Joni Mudra. Mudra for your female energies. So let me show you, let me come close to you so you'll be able to see a little better. It initially looks a little difficult, but you will get used to it. Right ring finger goes behind your left middle finger. Left index finger wraps around your right ring finger. The little finger comes in the front, middle finger comes in the front, left ring finger is controlled by your right index finger. Touch your little finger, touch your middle finger, touch your thumb at the base. This is called your Joni Mudra. This is your feminine divinity within you. This is going to take care all of your underlying chronic diseases. And then again, take a look at it. Very important. Please take a look at it. You will never understand any better than this. My eyes are closed. And you think of a difficult mudra? Look at this. Right ring finger goes under your left middle finger. Left index finger wraps around your right ring finger. The little finger comes in the front. Middle finger comes in the front. The left ring finger is controlled by your right index finger. Touch both the little finger, middle finger, put your thumb in the top. This is a Joni Mudra with my eyes closed. So let me finish because you may have a lot of questions because there is no end of mudras. As I said, you name it, any Sanskrit word, you will have a mudras. But once you understand space, air, fire, water, earth, will connect with everything. Every chakras you will awaken with the mudras. Every disease you will control with mudras. When you do a Kapalbhati pranayama, you stand up, Kapalbhati pranayama will be the way I do it or everything. Keep on doing the pranayama mudras. First, Dhyana mudra, Gana mudra. Very slowly you are doing, maybe about 20, 50. Vayu mudra. Just what I do, keep my eyes closed doing, and I change my fingers after 20 or 50 counts without knowing. Shunya Mudra, Prithvi Mudra, Varun Mudra, Shakti Mudra, Prana Mudra, Apna Mudra, Apna Vayu Mudra, Linga Mudra, Ganesh Mudra. When you do alternate nostril breathing, use your right thumb, use your left hand to do your Dhyana Mudra or Jnana Mudra. Use your right thumb to close your right nostril. Breathe out through your left nostril. Breathe in through the left nostril. Close your left nostril with the ring finger. Breathe out through right nostril. Then you incorporate called a Vishnu Mudra. Take your index finger and middle finger in between your two eyebrows, the third eye. Close your eyes. Bring your awareness to your Vishnu Mudra and continue alternate nostril breathing. Vishnu Mudra with your Anulom Vilom Pranayama. Finally, with your left hand, hold into your right earlobe. This is called balancing both sides of the brain. This is called your super brain yoga. Vishnu Mudra, Anulom Vilom Pranayama with the super brain yoga. Hand is used in our tradition for eating. Why? Because your digestion, your digestive process is through your five senses. Our mind. Remember, food creates our mind. Jatha an tatha man. So you look at your food and you are very quiet when eating. Listen to the sound of your food, maybe sound of your chewing, sound of mastication. You smell the food, you taste the food, you touch the food. How do you touch the food? This is called the digestion mudras. There are a few Sanskrit names you'll understand very well once I tell you. And I'll finish that. Remember, don't forget, I'll finish with the Vivaha Mudra. These are called 4 ways of eating with your hand. First is called Anno Bhakko Mudra. Anno is the rice, Bhakko is the eating. So you take your 4 fingers, you take the rice, and you mix with your curry, take the rice, with your hand, use your thumb. Use your thumb to push the rice in your mouth. You have a little bit of, like we call a mando, like a circle round, take the food in the mouth. Anno Bhakko Mudra. Anno is the rice, Bhakko is the eating. Then what you do, you have a piece of veggie or a piece of something, you pick it up with your fingers and put it in your mouth. And your little finger is out. It is called Keni Anguli Mudra. Keni Anguli means small little finger. You're not using your little finger. Is that it? Keni Anguli. Anno Bhakko Mudra, putting your thumb inside. Keni Anguli Mudra. Called a Kodambo Mudra. Kodambo Mudra is hold everything in your hand. Like you have a small rounded, say you are getting an apple or any rounded. You hold there, put it in your mouth. Called a Kodambo Mudra. And finally, use all the tip of your 5 fingers. You pick up something very gently, put it in the mouth, called a Mukul Mudra. Anno Bhakko Mudra. Keni Anguli Mudra. Kodambo Mudra. Mukul Mudra. Food gets digested when you touch the food. When you use your knife and fork, the food doesn't get digested. Food doesn't get digested, it creates a toxin called ama. The toxin is the root cause of all of our diseases. So, 2 minutes before you answer some question, Vivaha Mudra. What is the Vivaha Mudra? Why we are putting the ring in our ring finger. Remember my hands. Look at the anatomy. My hands, my wrist has 8 bones. Remember, I was giving you the poem we used to memorize: scaphoid, lunate, triquet, trapeziform, trapezium, trapezoid, capitate, hamate. All these bones you have, another, 20 bones, you have 27 bones in your hands. Joints, tendons, ligaments, so complicated. It's okay. If you're doing with me, put your hands together. Do it. You will love this one. Drop your middle finger down. Take a look. Middle finger down this side, middle finger down this side. Okay? I've done it. Move your thumb. You can move your thumb. These are your parents. They're going to leave you someday. They're not going to stay with you. Move your index finger. This is your brothers and sisters. They're going to leave you someday. They're not going to be here with you. Move your little finger. This is your children. They're going to leave you someday. Try to move your ring finger. You're never able to do it. Your husband and wife, you are stuck. That's why they put a ring in your ring finger. You are going to be together rest of your life. You are called Vivahito. You are married. You are committed. This is Vivaha Mudra. Try it. If you're able to move your ring finger, you're in big trouble, especially if you're married. Thank you. I have a few more minutes. I'll be glad to answer. I can continue. Mudras, this is my love. This is my love. My book, my whole book has a whole section on mudras, and every mudras is in my hand, pictures of my hand. Every mudras, you have the indication, how you do it, what is the effect of it, what does it do, your medically, what does it do, and your every mudras we're talking about, therapeutic mudras, are all here. This book is available. If you guys cannot get it in Sri Lanka, you can get it, your digital form, ebooks, Kindle form, ebooks, you can get it. This book is now being printed in India and in English by a publisher called Matilal Banarasdas, and I'm from Bengal, so they're also translating in Bengali and getting published in Bengali. Thank you for your time. It is exactly, I have 15 more minutes of your time. I will ask our moderator to look at the questions in the chat or take me off from my spotlight, put in a speaker view, so people who wants to ask a question directly, I'll be glad to answer. I like this interperson. I never did online presentation, but our COVID-19 pushed us to do it. Okay, I'm here for all for you. Thank you for your time. I'll be glad to answer any questions you have.
Thank you, Doctor, for that very informative and very interesting discourse. So now we'll be moving on to the question and answer session.
Before I start, let me do one thing.
Yes.
It's a Sanskrit word, but Hindi, I'm from Bengal, I cannot speak much Hindi or Sanskrit, but Karo Yog Raho Nirog. Mudras are transformative. Mudra converts a rogi. Rogi is called person with a disease, to a nirogi. Person have no disease, then called yogi or yogini. Transformation of mudra from rogi to nirogi to yogi. This is the message I want you to take home. Last message is Karo Yog Raho Nirog. Thank you. Go ahead now. Okay.
We have a few questions that have come in. This is from Saumya. So please suggest a mudra for severe migraine or headaches, nose blocks due to allergies.
So first of all, remember that you have to know the underlying cause of it. Migraine, headache is a pain. So it's a pain, it's a water-related disorder. So what mudras we are doing? is a Vayu Mudra. So put index finger down here. This is the Vayu Mudra. This is the Vayu Mudra you do for any chronic pain-related condition. Migraine is also a little bit of called a vasculogenic. We call it vasculogenic pain. So we also do a vasculogenic is primarily called a pitta disorder. Also use it your Dhanu Mudra or a Ganu Mudra. And the way we do it also, we do it, the pain also control is called a Vayu Pradhan Pranayama. Pranayama controlling our pain or vata. So we do alternate nostril breathing, and we'll do alternate nostril breathing with your Vayu Mudra. From migraine headache. One of the powerful tools for migraine headache, what is in our yogic tradition, is your Jalneti. Jalneti, Sutraneti. That is a daily practice, washing your nostril with a neti part. But most mudras, again, answering your primary is a Vayu Mudra. Thank you for the question. Okay, next one.
We have a lot of appreciation messages coming in. Apart from that, sir, we have another one. Please let us know, is it good to do weight training and yoga asanas with mudras?
What is that? I didn't get it.
Is it good to do weight training using mudras?
Weight training.
Yes.
Yeah, weight training, primarily when you do the weight training you do first with your breathing, and then also if you want to do a little mudra is very nice. But mudras are generally done in a relaxation response. Remember, weight training, it is an exercise. Exercise is a muscle contraction. So when I'm exercising, remember one thing, I'm having this weight training. I have a little weight, I'm doing it, my muscles are contracting. When the muscle contracts, it is sympathetic. My heart rate goes up, my blood pressure goes up, my respiratory rate goes up. So what happens, I get a sympathetic overdrive, and then I get a parasympathetic activation. Mudras are primary relaxation response. I personally myself practice my weight training with my pranayama, like the way I will be doing it. So remember, the muscles will need oxygen. So I will be doing more. If I do weight training, I will do if I use a mudras, but I'll do it first, I'll breathe out. Then I'll take a deep breath. First I breathe out first. Take a deep breath in, then breathe out. So these are the techniques you do, and also you do it as it is effortless. When you do effortless, then a weight training also becomes a relaxation response. See, for me, I'm sitting here, Sukhasana. Next, what I will do when I progress myself, I can get into this is called your Ardha Padmasana or Swastika Asana. But I activate both sides. This is the way the difference between exercise and yoga is that exercise is a muscle contraction and yoga is a muscle relaxation. You are giving time. See, I'm not getting in and out. I'm staying in this pose. If I get a pain, I back off. But I stay here. I stay here, do my breathing, only breathing I do, breathing out longer than breathing in. Breathing out is exhalation, breathing in inhalation. This thing will happen. This is called your neuroplasticity. I will go ahead with the other foot. And in stages, what will happen when the relaxation sets in with your mudras, with your pranayamas? So this is one thing you have to remember. Ashtanga Yoga, Yam, Niyam, Asana, Pranayam, Pratyahar. Asana is first, then the pranayama, the mudras come. But in a therapeutic setup, You learn how to adapt. So I learned to adapt. What I do, I can bring my feet high up. I'm sitting in a perfect Padmasana without trying. I didn't do anything. It came to me. Same way when you do the mudras, even if you do exercise, anything you do, but mudras primary is a relaxation response, like you to do it in relaxation. Like this is the one. People say, oh, how can you sit down here? Because I'm relaxed. One thing happens when you relax, your mouth will be wet. See, I'm talking to you for an hour and a half. My mouth is extremely wet now. I didn't drink any water, nothing. What happens when you get afraid, when you're fearful, you get a dry mouth. So you get parasympathetic activation, you get a wet mouth when saliva comes in. Okay, next one. Next question.
Excellent explanation on mudras. Is any clinical study testing on all these mudras and benefits? So they want to know if there's a clinical study that has been conducted.
Oh, clinical studies. How many? Okay, if you really want the clinical studies, you go to your website and then go to your website called a PubMed. P-U-B-M-E-D. PubMed is all the scientific articles from the National Medical Library in the United States. If you go to the search engine, you put it down, yoga therapy, you'll get about 5,000 articles today. Then you put down in mudras, you will get over 500 articles. Then you get a mudras as a yoga therapy, you will do over 100 articles. And if you're more interested, anybody who has a publication, look at a person named called Shirley Tellis, S-H-I-R-L-E-Y, Shirley, T-E-L-L-E-S. She's one of the first yoga researcher in India. Actually, she's Indian. She was from Goa. She's a physician. She did her PhD in mental health. She started the research center outside Bangalore called S. Vyasa for Swami Vivekananda Yoga Anushandhan Sangstha. Vyasa knows it very well. Now she is with Swami Ramdev in Patanjali Yoga. So Google Shirley Tellis and go to PubMed. You will see hundreds and hundreds of articles of the therapeutic effect of yoga, therapeutic effect of mudras. Thank you for asking. Very nice question.
Thank you, sir. Moving on to the next question. So please let me know if there are any mudras for knee pains.
Mudras of?
Mudras for knee pains. Knee pains?
Huh?
She wants to know whether there are any mudras for knee pains. Knee as in...
Oh, knee pain.
Yes.
Knee pain. Okay, you can again, you go to my website, YouTube, you will find a whole section on the knee pain. But remember, again, what is the pain? Is your water-related disorder. Pain is your Vayu Mudra. The Vayu Mudra, and most of the knee pains, remember, are not due to the your loss of cartilage. Or people say, oh, my cartilage is gone, I get rubbing bone to bone. Cartilage has no pain fiber. In fact, bone in the periosteum, covering up the bone, has some pain fiber. But when the bones are damaged, osteoarthritis, your ligaments, your muscles, they get tightened up. It's called the splinting. So what you need for your knee pain is a relaxation. So say I have a severe damage to both knees, but slowly in stages. So in yoga therapy, you don't get into asana. What you will be doing, you will be getting into asana like this. If you want to get a sukhasana, you sit down, you get a pain. The moment you get a pain, you get a body will telling you, you have crossed your limit. So you will come back high up. You'll find a place where you don't have any pain. Then your breath has to be effortless. Any impact, any physical imbalance you create in your body shows up in your breath. In yoga, it's called Annamaya Kosha to Pranamaya Kosha. So your What is your effortless breathing? You'll be able to talk. You'll be able to sing, like what I'm doing. I'm sitting here talking. Slowly and slowly, this thing will happen. The damage you have in your knees are not going to hurt you. Your hurting is due to tightness. So do the Vayu Mudra and do the Vayu Mudra and do a little Kapalbhati Pranayama, sitting. Vayu Mudra, Anulom Vilom Pranayama, alternate nostril breathing. And it's steady. See, now here I am. Next is called your Siddhasana. I get into Siddhasana. I get slowly into Padmasana. My knee pain, gone, 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 gone. So my doctor says, my MRI of my knee, I said, we can give you some cortisone. I can give you some, take care of your knee pain. I said, I have a better cortisone, better than a cortisone injection. So they get surprised. They said, what? They're all friends, my physician friends. I said, I have a Padmasana. Vajrasana. If you can sit down in a Vajrasana, knee pain in any mudras in your Vayu Mudra, your knee pain will be gone forever. This is a powerful tool for your knee pain, Vajrasana. Because Vajrasana is a wonderful, relaxing asana. Okay, what's next?
Suggest a mudra for multiple sclerosis. That is the question.
Multiple sclerosis is the same thing. Multiple sclerosis, remember one thing, it's a degenerative disease. It's basically called autoimmune disease. Autoimmune disease means you are trying to do the balancing of your immune system. Your immune system is too strong. Immune system is fighting against your body. Multiple sclerosis is a nerve which has a covering. The covering is get destroyed. So you need to bring the balance. You do the balancing poses first. Those are the very fascinating mudras. You try to stand on one foot with your eyes closed. Then you do a Dhanu Mudra. Your Dhanu Mudra, touching alternate fingers, balances both sides of your brain. Then it's a neuropsychiatric disorder which comes from Vata. So you do your Vayu Mudra. Then you do alternate nostril breathing. These are but we teach them how to do balancing poses first. We do the hand mudras and the pranayamas for multiple sclerosis. All of them are all in my YouTube channel. Go to my YouTube channel. You have to pick and choose and you will know. All of them are dated. Or get my book. My book has all the information about all the diseases and the therapies. Okay, anything else?
There's a lot of questions coming in, sir. Jayashri, she wants to know, can you tell us mudras for viral arthritis and joint inflammation?
Again, joint inflammation, so remember one thing, yoga therapy is not a reductionist. It's called holistic. You need to do a daily practice. It is not that I'm taking a pill and it's going to go away. It is not going to go away. In fact, if you do something today, it will have a profound impact, which we call a transition. Transition means you'll have an effect on your body and mind, and you see, if you're doing something, your inflammation is gone, you feel great. Guess what? You stop doing it, it'll come back. You have diabetes, you do a Kapalbhati Pranayama, you do a Mandukasana, you do a Vajrasana, yeah, blood sugar will come down. Stop doing it, blood sugar will go higher. So, if you understand, if there's inflammation, you do your Pitta balancing mudra. This is called your Gyana Mudra, Dhanu Mudra. For the pain, you do the Vayu Mudra. And for the balancing, you do your Dhanu Mudra, alternate breathing. But always remember, if you start doing only one thing for one condition in your Chikitsha, it will get worse. Because it's not a transition, it is called a transformation. Transformation from Rogi to Nirogi to Yogi. And I have a beautiful presentation on my YouTube channel, take a look. Yoga Therapy, the art of transition to transformation. Thank you for the question. What else? Anything more?
There's quite a lot of questions coming in, so I think we should stop the chat in a bit. So can you briefly explain mudras with Gayatri Mantra?
Mudra with what?
Gayatri Mantra.
Gayatri Mantra. You see, and this is again one side again. If you get a mudras explains everything. Okay? So if you look at a mantra, don't think about a Gayatri Mantra. Say mantra. Or mudras for anything you can name. Mudras for your Saptadhatu, mudras for your all the Pancha Mahabhuta. Mudra, remember, neurophysical impact. So what is a mantra? You know the root word of the mantra. We're not talking about a Gayatri mantra, or not a Mahamrityunjay mantra, or not any kind of mantra. Mantra. Man is the mind. Tra is the vehicle. Patra. So it is a container which quiets down your mind. So what is mantra? Mantra is a frequency. Mantra has a frequency, our brain has a frequency. Two frequency interacts and it cancels. In physics, it's called a harmonic resonance. Quiets down your mind. So mantra quiets down your mind. Mudra is a mantra without any words or letters spoken. So it is not a Gayatri mantra, it is not a Mahamrityunjay mantra. Mudras has the effect of every mantra as you can think. So message for you to take home is a mudra is a mantra without any words or letters spoken. Thank you for a wonderful question. I was asking, in fact, I was wondering when nobody's asking about this. Okay, how many more? I can stay for a little longer, but we need to finish sometime. You guys have a work to do, places to go.
I'll try to sum it up. Can you tell us a mudra for heavy bleeding? Is one question, and is there age limitation when practicing mudras? Can kids practice mudras?
No, go ahead again. Is there any what?
Is there a mudra for heavy bleeding?
Heavy bleeding.
Yes.
So it depends on what bleeding you're talking about. If you're talking about a menstrual bleeding, heavy menstrual bleeding, which is your downward force. See, you remember the concepts. You don't want to know the names of the mudras. So once you understand the concept, so heavy bleeding means a heavy menstrual flow. Heavy menstrual flow means heavy downward force. So downward force will counteract with heavy upward force. What is upward force? Is your Udana bhai. So it's a Udana mudra. So touch your index finger, middle finger, ring finger, and thumb. This is your Udana mudra. Udana mudra is to counteract anything flowing down. So on the other hand, if you don't have enough bleeding, so you don't have enough menstrual flow, then you need the Apana mudra. Apana mudra is going to push it down. So Apana mudra is ring finger, middle finger, and thumb. So it is not a cookbook medicine. Always remember, yoga therapy is experiential. Yoga therapy is understanding the concepts. Then you'll be able to do it all. Okay? What's next?
Question, can immobile or paralyzed individuals be helped with mudras? As they might not be able to. Can paralyzed individuals or immobile individuals, can they be helped with mudras as they might not be able to perform?
No. We in fact tell them, do the people who are paralyzed laying down in the stroke, do the mudras and do the pranayama even in the bed. So tell them to do, say stroke, paralyzed is a water-related disorder, neuropsychiatric disorder. We do a Vayu mudra and do an alternate nostril breathing. In fact, the mudras are so silly, powerful, that we have people who have the spiritual people, before even they die, they have their hands in the mudras, and that's where there's the last position they have. They die with these mudras. So very important. No, there is no contraindication for the mudras and pranayamas when you are doing completely effortlessly. You don't put any effort.
So if they can't perform these mudras, if they can't control the movements of the hand, how can they
So
go
the
about?
two things have been done. You know, if the person cannot move their hands, nothing, completely paralyzed, then somebody else is helping them. It is called assisted. You can do it with one hand and the two hands. Still has an effect. We really push people who is paralyzed, because your practice is a wonderful practice for people who have a stroke and who have a paralysis. It's called supported mudras. Nothing wrong, somebody helping you to put this, you know, somebody helping you to doing this.
Thank you, sir.
What's next?
The next question. Can kids practice mudras?
Can do what?
Can children practice mudras?
Oh, yeah, children. If you teach a children mudras, they'll keep on doing it. I mean, children, amazing, you know. Yeah. Any children, you know, I said, first of all, children cannot do yoga practice. So I have a very simple answer. People come, my children are autistic children. What I do? Children do what parents do. So why don't you do it? You do it. Father, mother, you do it. You have your child next to you, let him do it. Do the mudras, they'll be hooked on it. It's amazing. You try the practice with the children. Children does mudras more better than any adults, because they feel the effect of it within them, and that's why they get hooked to it. I teach every children in mudras, you know. Go ahead, next. I see what is that? Is it 20 messages? That many messages left? We need to go.
Not a lot, sir. Not a lot. So there's one more from this is from Sumati. How does mudras work on the body? Meaning the fingers coming into connection, and how does it connect with body parts, and how does it change? How does the changes in body parts take place?
Yeah, it's very simple. You are asking a question because you have a Western trained mind. You know, all my doctors ask me the same question. I just tell you simply one thing. You always talk with your hands. I'm here, I'm moving my hand. Why do you move your hands when you talk? Why do you do this when you like something? Or why do you do this when you want? It is a connector for your body and mind. And then your body in a computer, many of you are a software engineer. Body is like a hardware, mind is a software. Mudras are the software updates. Your software has a bug in it. It's like your iPhone. You have an iOS 14.2.3. Apple sends you your software update, Mudras software update. Basically, mudras are the connector between your body and mind to move the prana to the organ of healing. And if you look at all the Western concept, the nerve which is coming to your heart, it doesn't stop in the heart. Branch of the vagus nerve in the heart, it extends, it takes all the way down, goes to the tip of your finger. Or maybe in the hand. So acupressure. So this is the acupressure for your heart, you know. We're doing it to improve the heart function. This is another explanation. But most important explanation is a hand is a connector between your body and mind. Body is the hardware, mind is the software. It fixes your software, the hardware gets fixed. Okay, I think we should make it and I know you have a lot of other questions. You can.
There's one more question. Can we shoot that? Is there what are the books that you can refer on mudras?
You know, there are tons and tons of books on mudras. So there will be no end of mudras. I said I have very precise mudras in my book, but get a book on philosophy of Ayurveda and understand your Pancha Mahabhuta concept, Akash, Vayu, Agni, Jal, Prithvi. Once you understand the 5 elements, once you understand the effect of 5 elements in your hands, you will have a wonderful outcome of your mudras. Because if you get a book of mudra, what they will be doing it in the book of mudra is they will give you a name and big Sanskrit name. You know, maybe you will find, what is that? Vyasa's name. What is last name? Kala Subramanian. What is that? Sundaram. You find a Kala Sundaram, you find a Kala Sundaram mudra. So it is not memorizing the name of the mudras. It is not showing the understanding the 5 elements: space, air, fire, water, earth. The moment you understand that, understand the Vata, Pitta, and Kapha, understand the disease related to this, you'll have a profound understanding of mudras. Well, there's tons of books in mudras, So I really cannot recommend you any books because I have done a forward for a book, Mudras, called A Sacred Secret by Indu Arora. She's a very young girl, very famous yoga teacher. I just wrote a forward for her book called Mudras, The Sacred Secret. Indu, I-N-D-U, Indu Arora, A-R-O-R-A is a writer. Okay, time to finish.
Thank you, sir. And once again, on behalf of Ashtanga Yoga Mandir and the audience, thank you for delivering a very informative discourse on mudras. And I'd also like to thank our wonderful audience for joining us here today.
Okay, now let me ask one thing. What
Yes.
I can do, if you have more chat, you have a lot of chat, I'm sure. Let me do one thing. Let me go and save the chat. If I see there is something very striking questions, I will go ahead and send it to, what is that, save chat. You guys are so good in this computer. We are getting master in Zoom now. We're Zooming every day. 5 times a day we are Zooming now. Thank you again. I save all the chat. So if I find something which is striking, important. Any other comments you guys have before I give the chance, maybe a couple of minutes if anybody wants to unmute, talk. But it's a webinar, they cannot talk.
After the completion of the session, we will be having a happy chat, sir.
Great. Okay, so time to finish. Bye-bye. Everybody's frozen now. Nobody's talking.
Sir, I think.
Oh, here he is. Okay.
Yeah. I think. Thank you very much because I think the host had some technical issue. So once again, on behalf of Ashtanga Yoga Mandir Sri Lanka, thank you very much for a wonderful session, sir. After this Shanti Mantra, we kindly request you to be there for a few minutes.
Sure.
Just to introduce our instructors, members, and all our people who are there would like to have some few extra words with you. So we'll complete the session with the Shanti Mantra, and those who wish to leave for your other important dinner or any meetings, please go ahead, and few of our instructors will be there who would like to have some few words with sir. Thank you.
स्वस्तिर्भवतु सर्वेषां स्वस्तिर्भवतु सर्वेषां शान्तिर्भवतु सर्वेषां शान्तिर्भवतु सर्वेषां पूर्णं भवतु सर्वेषां पूर्णं भवतु सर्वेषां मङ्गलं भवतु सर्वेषां मङ्गलं भवतु सर्वे भवन्तु सुखिनः सर्वे सन्तु निरामयाः सर्वे भद्राणि पश्यन्तु मा कश्चित् दुःखभाग् भवेत्
So thank you very much, sir. And I think we always try to bring you to Sri Lanka, even for our Asian Yoga Therapy Conference, which you were supposed to have last year. Guruji was planning like you should come to Sri Lanka, but everything got, so we are very happy, sir, that you were able to join through this and enlighten and give a completely a beautiful perspective of this on the topic of mudras. So, and mostly you can see all of us who are here are most of our instructors from Sri Lanka. So if any of our instructors just want to ask.
I was looking for you. I couldn't find you. And I said, where you are? You know, I said.
No. I was completely there from the beginning, sir.
You know what I will do? Once the pandemic is over, hopefully sometime, and me and my wife, we've never been to Sri Lanka, so we'll come for a tour. You know,
Sure.
We'll go for a tour, and then during the tour, we'll come and meet you and give you a session.
Of course.
That will be, yeah. We don't need any conference. We'll be enjoying our time.
That will be wonderful, sir.
Okay.
And I think if any of our instructors, they would just like to ask anything, you can just raise your palms up, and then I will be happy to. So we have few of yes, Arunya, you like to ask something?
My one is like a daytime. It's like 11:20, my daytime. You guys have been a nighttime. So if you have any pressing question about anything
Yes, I think,
your life, anything about yoga, anything about mudras, I'll be.
Arunya, I think you can unmute yourself and ask. Arunya, you wanted to ask something, right?
Well, I suppose I can find this on your YouTube channel. Just to clarify, is there anything that you would recommend for sleep related issues and stress?
Yeah, go to my YouTube channel. It's called the Yoga Therapy for Insomnia and Sleep Apnea. I have a whole YouTube channel, YouTube video. You'll see that. Called Yoga Therapy for Insomnia and Sleep Apnea. All my videos are dated, like 2021, like a 4. It will be like today's one will be 4/28 April. So if you keep scrolling down, you'll find one. Or I don't have my list with me, but look at Yoga Therapy for Insomnia and Sleep Apnea.
Yes. I think Varuni, you wanted to speak to Doctor.
Doctor, you mentioned about the representation of the sensory motor homunculus in the hands. I would like to know more because I've read it somewhere, but is it on the hands and the face and the brain cortex? If you can just describe a little bit on that, the sensory motor homunculus.
It's basically what is a homunculus is that this is we call it a short, body that gives you an idea why hand, and especially is for the healthcare provider, that gives you an idea why you were talking about it. Look at this picture. This will be our body if you think about the brain. The brain is represented in our body like this. And that's the reason what Vyasa was asking me, neurophysical connector, and I told him in impact. It's a neurophysical connector. that it connects your body and mind. I've never seen a human being not talking without moving their hands, including Vyasa. I've seen him, moving his hands all the time when he's talking, But there's a normal human physiological response.
Thank you, doctor. Thank you so much.
Question, what your question was, what is it's the area of the motor cortex controlling your hand. Half of the motor cortex controls your hand. 1/4 is yours from head and neck. So our body is nothing, just a little skinny body, 1/4 of the brain controls the rest of our body.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I think Soumya wanted to ask. Soumya, yes, you can unmute.
I just want to have a doubt on. I've learned a course on handwriting therapies. So where you use letters to write as a therapy letters, which cures because it has some direct connection to your brain and it cures a lot of issues within your body. So can you explain about that, sir? Because I
Same
want to...
thing, it's a fixing, you're fixing your software. See, think about it. Again, because they're all software engineer, body is a hardware, mind is a software. So what we are doing in Western medicine, we are fixing our hardware. We're doing angioplasty, doing a bypass, we're putting a medication. But the problem is up here. Problem is in our software. The software gets fixed when you get a software updates. That's when you get all the software updates. You can my computer is saying you have to update the software of your computer. That's exactly what the hand gestures. And you will see every religion, every prayer is a hand. If you're Jewish, they're doing this. Islam, they're doing it. There is not a single known spiritual practice who doesn't have a hand in it. So basically, the hand controls your software. So hardware get fixed. Very nice way of explaining. So you don't have to go any further. You don't have to go too far.
True.
Today, who is the biggest sufferer of lifestyle-related disorder is your software guys. Because they're hunchback, sitting, looking at the computers. I always tell them, do your Paschim Namaskar, put your hands in the back, and use your hand mudras, Adhi Mudra, and it's a wonderful outcome they have. Software engineers are, they are having diabetes at the age of 35, their heart attack at the age of 30s, they're dying because of their lifestyle they're having now. Okay.
Yes, Rika, I think Rika is from Japan, doctor.
Okay.
I attended your session at Vyasa, Singapore.
Vyasa, Singapore, okay? Not in Japan. I was in Japan too a few times,
Yes, I also went to the Sendai.
Yes, Sendai, okay? Yeah, good.
We were all there in Sendai.
Actually, what I had one time in Japan, I flew from Tokyo to all the way south, all the way. I flew there with a plane. Then I took the train, took the Shinkansen. I did a six session in 6 different cities coming back in Tokyo.
Oh.
Wonderful practice I had, Go ahead, what question do you have?
Yeah. So Jnana Mudra and Chin Mudra, up and down. Why is the effect? How is the effect to change?
Most of the mudras we have a hand up because it's a receiving. And there is remember, whole mudras are called experiential. Experiential is, this is your receiving and giving, and this is your opening lower part of your lung. The Chin Mudra primarily opens lower part of the lung. Chinmay opens your middle part of the lung, and Adhi Mudra opens upper part of the lung. But most of the spiritual practices in mudras, hand always facing high up. This is the only mudras you keep your hands down. I don't know if again, it's not the, everybody has a different opinion. I have seen people practicing a lot of mudras with the hand down. But for us, It is receiving and giving, and palm facing high up. That is a primary thing about a mudra.
Adi Mudra also down.
Adi Mudra, we do it down. Adi Mudra. Adi Mudra is primarily called a Balo Mushti Mudra. That's the way the baby closes the fist. And it is the most relaxing mudra. Adi Mudra. I always do it. I do every asana, every pranayama, I do in the Adi Mudra. See, the flexibility in the body and mind comes from the effect of mudras. Because mudras quiets down your mind, so your body is flexible. Say, my body is so flexible, you can name an asana, I can do it. Why? Because my mind is all geared for this, to the asana mudra practice.
And Susanna is from France, doctor.
France,
And,
okay.
yes, Susanna, you can.
Hello. Thank you so much, doctor. I love it. As I studied Ayurveda, it was wonderful to hear you. But I have some question about, do you think that there is a link between marma points and mudras?
What?
Between marma points
Yes,
and
yes,
mudras.
yeah, that's all. See, again, the marma is actually original. You know, the word marma comes from, it's a pressure points, you know. So this is the same concept. In fact, the whole marma therapy also is a spiritual practice. Mudra is a spiritual practice. And the mudras are also used for your, called Kundalini Jagaran, like your activation of your chakras. Then the bandhas, Mula Bandh, you know, your Udyani Bandh, Jalandhar Bandh. So this is also a mudra, Jalandhar Bandh. So the points, you have 108 points in your body, marma points. These are all connected with your mudras. Actually, mudras and marma points, mudras and so-called acupressure, mudras and the acupuncture, these are all interrelated. These are all connected. There is no separation because all of them does your, remember one thing, marma point, mudras, acupressure, all cleanses up your channel called Nadi Shodhana. We call it Agni Dipana, but it ignites your Agni within your body. Then it's called your Ama Pachana. It digests your toxins. Nadi Shodhana opens up your channel called Ojasthapana. So all the practices opens your channel. Like even if you do a acupuncture, acupuncture is not the points you do. Acupuncture opens up your meridian so the chi can flow. When the chi can flow without any obstruction, you are healthy. Same thing for you. If prana can flow through all of your nadis, you are healthy. So there is no separation between your marma point and mudra. They're all exactly same. Effect is same.
Thank you.
Thank you. And we have Shamantaji. She travels to Colombo, Sri Lanka to Japan. She is a citizen of a Japanese citizen. Yes, Shamanta.
Wow. Okay.
Good evening, Guruji. Your session is very interesting. And my problem is I have not studied mudra so much, but I am just confused with. I just wanted to know whether this in the palm we emit our energy. More energy goes from our palm. Is it true? And also in the eyes, you said close your eyes, right? And what I was thinking, I don't know whether I'm correct. I just want to know whether when the energy emits more from the palms, when we keep the fingers different ways, is that the energy we are redirecting back to the chakras, or what is it happening?
Don't think about it. Don't study anything. Don't learn anything. Forget everything. Okay, more you learn, more you read, more confused you will be. So the best thing is, you know what best thing is? Just keep doing it. Keep doing it with your eyes closed. You will feel, this is called introspection. You will feel the movement of the energies. You will feel, as I said, I teach the children. They get hooked up right away. You know, most of children, they don't even get out of the mudras. Mudras, look at the Bharatanatyam. You teach a girl doing a Bharatanatyam with the mudras, that girl will be doing Bharatanatyam rest of their life. More you read, more you want to learn, more confused you will be. So what mudra says in yoga says very simple. It's a 99% practice, 1% theory. You don't read anything, okay? Don't learn anything. Keep doing it. No. I'm just kidding, but that's a very important concept. If you keep on doing it, everything will come to you. You know what is a guru? What is the word guru means? Gu is the darkness, Guru is the remover. Remover of darkness. You have all the information within you. Teacher, you know what the teacher means? Remover of your ignorance. Okay, one more. Then we have to go. Oh my God, yes. I have to look at the clock. I
think we have last is Anaga. She's basically from India, but now stuck in Sri Lanka for some official matters. So yes, Anaga.
So when do I get stuck in Sri Lanka? Yes, sir.
As soon as you just have to come first, then we'll receive you and we'll stuck you in Sri Lanka.
So convert the pandemic to endemic first, you know. You have to convert the pandemic, then we'll get stuck in Colombo.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, Anaga.
First of all, thank you so much for such a wonderful session. My question is about, I think you have already partially answered it in the previous question. You mentioned about the burning of the armor in the body. My problem for a few years has been chronic pain in the body. So when you say mudra burns the armor and makes the prana flow and the nadi shuddhi, I love doing yoga, I love doing meditation, but there are days and there are longer spells of days when I don't feel the energy to get up and do anything. So is there any specific mudra that burns ama and that I should be practicing for this? Or
no, there is a lot of specific thing, but if you keep on doing the specific thing, you'll never do. So what will happen to you? Our body has the same thing, the ups and downs and everything, but consistently do a daily practice, but effortless practice. Do not make any effort. You will do the pranayama as if it is your normal breathing. You will do asana. Only asana you do with the mudra is called a sthiram sukham asana. I have to be still. Here I am, I'm still. Sthiram. Sthiram sukham asanam. You do the mudras, do the pranayamas, do a daily practice, and we can tell you one thing. Karo yog rahaniro. Keep doing a daily. It happens to all of us. It happens to so many people. I'm in contact and I have never seen. So particularly you say, I have a pain, I have a chronic pain. I mean, I'm only doing the Vayu Mudra throughout the whole day. Probably your pain will worsen. Because one good important, you guys are teacher, you should understand one thing about your practice. Your practice is called a Nishkam Karma. Nishkam Karma means you're doing it without a desire, without an outcome. The moment you practice that, my blood sugar will go down by doing this, blood sugar will go higher. The moment you say my pain is going down, it's going to go higher. I'm not kidding. I've seen so many people. I'm doing a couple. I said, you are doing too fast. You want to, human psyche is 1 is good, 10 is better. So don't even think. Keep doing a daily, regular practice, completely effortless practice, and you will see a wonderful outcome. Practice all the hand mudras. Dhanu mudra, Vayu mudra, Shunya mudra, Prithvi mudra, Varun mudra, Shakti mudra, Apna Vayu mudra, Linga mudra. Pick up this about 10 mudras for a day practice. You will see the wonder in your life.
Thank you very much, Doctor, for giving us some time for this happy chat with our members and instructors.
Sure.
And hope before the COVID ends, we'll be able to have another beautiful and a knowledgeable session with you. I'll be in touch with you. And thank you very much, Doctor, because I think Asian Yoga Therapy is also planning some programs. So I think Manoj ji from Singapore or Guruji, so Manjunath ji will be in touch with you. So thank you very much once again. You have given your 2 hours of your wonderful, precious time. And thank you very much once again.
Before I finish, my last statement will go. Every time I do something, people say, when can you come back? I said, Vyasa, catch me if you can. You have to catch me, you know. I'm very busy. I'm very mobile. So even in this pandemic, every day I'm doing a session, you know. So again,
you became so busy, you know, in this pandemic, you know, because people have got easily reachable.
Yes.
Thank you very much, Doctor. God bless you. All our pranams from our members and our Guru lineage to you. Thank you.